shows up.
Welcome to BCB Live. This is Sir Rick Drive Safe Dave, the safest station in the nation. It's Thankful Thursday. Lots of things to be thankful for. Drive safe. And before we get to this news, before we start talking traffic or weather, we're going to first say, hey, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing out there on the highways. Listen, it's about safety first and foremost. Every day, every second, every situation, we must place it on safety. Remember our industry. One thing we want to do is make sure that we're giving the best perception, right, of what we're doing. We got to make sure that we're the safest folks out there on the road, because drive safe, everyone, and I know it's news to you, but everyone's usually checking me out, but they're checking out our industry all the time.
You know, we're talking about leading by example. We're talking about doing the right thing, leading by example, being the kings and the queens of the road, being the heroes that you are, and just showing everybody exactly what it means to be safe, courteous, kind, and considerate out there on the road. And you're the ones that do it. You're the ones that do it best. You're the professionals. Let's show everybody what needs to be done.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk a little cold, hard cash, because up in Canada, a huge seizure of cash, Drive Safe Dave. We're talking $228,000 seized at the border in a commercial vehicle.
Yeah, you know, just traveling across the border, maybe wanted to get a little, you know, a beer or two, and just needed a little cash, extra cash, right, to roll across. That money was seized. You got to report that kind of money. They don't mind if you come across with it. You just got to make sure you tell somebody you got it.
And probably the reason why, right? I'm going to say there's some inside information. So the first bus was $200,000. Moments later, another $28,000 bust. So listen to this. Here's the funny part right here is that, hey, this was done at the Ambassador Bridge location right there at Detroit and Windsor, the connection right there. It was the very first and largest seizure. Inside information on that? I'm going to say yes. I mean, producer, you're growing across the country. I mean, first of all, I get the drug part. Those are, you know, they have dogs to sniff that out. Right. I mean, how do they catch you on cash?
Here's what I'm thinking, right? So first and only seizure at this part of the border, and it's really not, I mean, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but whenever you see like huge seizures of cash, usually it's like, multi-million. Seems like somebody got a nice bonus and was like, all right, how do we get this tax-free into here? How do we bring this in without having to claim it?
Have you ever been there? Have you ever been to that crossing that bridge?
Never have,
okay,
no.
So, you know, you go across this big bridge, and they've got all of the stations there, and they pull the commercials right there at the border. I mean, right when you pull in, and they're right there. And I'm just thinking to myself, they do break those trucks down. They do go through the side boxes. They do walk around, but you're right, Sir Rick. Somebody said something.
Yeah, there's something going. They're not going through that. I just don't think they're going through whatever you're putting that in. And here's the deal. So listen, hey, they get you, they take your money, then they're saying, hey, be on your way, sir.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Hey, no charges being pressed here.
Not yet. They can press charges, but yeah, here. And by the way, you can always fill out this form and prove that this is your money. You know.
They kind of pat you down a little bit. They go into your pocket, pull out your wallet, and they're like, is this what you do for fun? Is this what gets you off all day?
Wow, that's a lot of cash. It's a lot of cash,
but you know what? Again, you know, just guys doing their job, you know, just protecting their country, making sure that money is earmarked. I'm sure most of it was turned over to the appropriate authorities as well. Drive safe, Dave. But maybe even kind of a bigger heist than what those guards did or what they did at the bridge there was this painting. Did you hear about the painting? Yeah. Producer, we got canvases that we pay an artist for. This is done over in it was a Danish museum that said, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you $85,000 for 2 canvases. The 2 canvases come and they're blank.
Oh yeah,
there's nothing on them.
But my favorite is the name of the art piece, which he turned into the museum. Take the money and run.
Yes, sir. And they're like, all right. And I think he's kind of trying to prove a point with this, right?
I don't know. Okay, so from what I understand from the story and from the article, is he was supposed to take the money itself and use it in some way on the canvas. And he did.
No, he did.
He just sent the canvas and he pocketed the cash.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is this one of the guys crossing the border? Is this one of the guys taking the money?
This is his artsy project here, but he is supposed to turn that $84,000 back into the museum per his contract because he was just supposed to make the painting right with $84,000. And so now, exactly what you said earlier, he's just trying to prove a point. Like, yeah, if somebody's gonna make me do this stupid job, I'm gonna give them a stupid product.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's got till January the 16th to get that money back before presses. Could be charges. Now, let's face it, they still hung it up.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They're like, all right, you know what? We're going to display this.
Yeah,
and there it is, actually being displayed. 2 canvases there, just blank.
This is part of that new art that I see when I go into the
freaking
museum.
all in. I turned stuff like that in high school. I got an F, and here he is collecting cash.
Dude, this dude scored big, but I'm telling you, I'll go into it. And have you been, I go like the Guggenheimer, and you walk around, you look at new art, and you look at it, and you're not really sure. I don't get it. I'm like that guy that doesn't get it. And then you'll see people walk by these canvases, and they'll be like nodding their head like they totally get it.
I know, right?
Hey, to be fair, if you look, I mean, whenever I go to an art museum and if I'm looking at the paintings, I'm nodding more like, oh man, you can see where the artist is like brushing and like the intentionality behind it. This is a blank canvas, it is what it is.
I know, but somebody's gonna go, what genius?
Oh yeah,
man.
no, I know. You know what?
I get the genius of it. This is the one artwork that I totally get, right? This is the one I understand.
Infrastructure bill, Drive Safe Dave. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Infrastructure bill hits the floor today. Not sure the votes are there. Not sure that it's going to pass, but it's got to hit the floor today. I don't know if Ms. Pelosi has gotten all the votes ready yet, but we're going to have a little bit of a fight on the floor today. I will tell you that they do, and they seem to have averted the shutdown, and they have the votes enough to pass the shutdown. But there is a fight brewing on the floor, I'll tell you, coming out about the debt ceiling. I do know that.
Well, I think they're reducing the first phase, right? And it's a partial shutdown for the non-essential government workers.
Right.
And I just think, you know what, how do you go into work and even feel good about yourself? You're non-essential. We don't need you. What does that mean?
Well, they're talking about, like, I would say, like, a troop on the front line in Korea might be considered an essential government worker, right?
Hey, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's think about companies that you work at. Let's start naming non-essential folks. You start.
Me.
That was safe. A lot of ears were at the studio right now. A lot of eyes were there. We had swords coming out. Big Blue. Who are we going to say? Drive safe. That was a good, safe answer there.
Yeah, but I'll tell you that, and when you say not essential, I just mean to keep the government rolling. But you've got really important stuff going on around the country that we take for granted, like all of the parks and recreation areas, all those people that man those areas every single day and allow it to open up. Can you imagine if all our parks were closed?
Oh, yeah.
And, there's so much going on that we take for granted. And this stuff is important, but I believe it's going to be averted today. I think they've worked that out. But I do see a fight on the floor with this debt ceiling. That's a big deal.
No, it is. And the infrastructure bill is a big deal. We talk about it. Again, this isn't a political show whatsoever. We give our opinion about anything.
Oh, yeah,
and it goes either way. But Drive Safe Dave, part of the infrastructure bill or the issues behind it is they put in this other kind of infrastructure. It's called the human infrastructure. And I'm kind of confused on that. You can't just start putting names to infrastructure. Otherwise, this bill will never get passed. Let's face it, the infrastructure bill should be meant for what it says, right?
Absolutely. You're talking about pork. And you're talking about other things that – so in order to hold your vote, and people go out there and go, hey, I need your support on these votes, and say, well, I can kind of give you my support if we add this tax. We attach this to it. So it kind of helps my region or my area or whatever. And it may not have anything to do with infrastructure. It's just pork is what they call it. attached to a bill.
Yeah, so if you're out there right now, listen, we urge you to get involved with your local trucking associations. You know, make sure you look at who you're voting for.
Absolutely.
You know, when we talk infrastructure, especially in our industry right now, we've got to get these aging roads fixed, these aging bridges fixed.
Correct.
We've got to get this thing done to make it safer. As we continue to talk about autonomous vehicles, as we talk about platooning, right? Putting these trucks so close together because they are autonomous, they can fall close together. Listen, our bridges can't handle that today.
No, they can't.
The infrastructure, the road conditions, we've got to get them fixed for what we have. We've seen what happens when we invest in the infrastructure, right? We saw the successes in Louisiana on this past hurricane from the infrastructure.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, the infrastructure bill really is our investment in our future. It's our investment in what's going on in the future. And that's kind of what has happened to us now. We stopped investing in the infrastructure now, and now we're seeing the aging and the difficulties and the damages to the bridges and these falling apart of these roads. And as you're out there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just the regular, normal construction. I'm talking about the deep dives into really making sure these are 40 and 50-year repairs, not 5-year repairs.
Yes, sir. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, listen, lots to talk about on this. We got to take a quick break. Okay. But when we come back, we're going to talk to Kristen Perry, and we're going to talk a little bit of vacations. We're going to talk about what we're seeing with COVID across the country. But Drive Safe Dave, I'm going to get my vacation mind up because Kristen is with a Classic Travel Agency. Okay. They've been part of some of our gifts that we've done within this anyway. Listen, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what we're seeing, what places are open. Can we go on a cruise yet and enjoy it?
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. We're going to see you in 60 seconds. BCB Live, we are the safest station in the nation. Welcome back to BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. We're joined by Kristen Perry today. Kristen, how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you guys?
You know what? I'm well, and I'll speak for Drive Safe Dave only because it's just you don't want to hear what he has to say anyway right now.
What?
He's doing fine. He's sitting next to Sir Rick. You know what? He is a blessed man.
Almost 6 feet away. I'm just saying I've got my social distancing going on right now, right here. But welcome to the safest station in the nation, Kristen.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
And you know what, Drive Safe? I was talking to you, and she is, this is a TV star right here.
That's what I hear.
Let me tell you something.
The rumor's out.
It is out. She's on the Birmingham's or Fox News, I think, on Birmingham. She's a regular TV star, giving her professional opinion, right? Her knowledge of what's going on in this industry. And we're just going to hop into it, Kristen. All right. Can we travel yet?
We can travel, and we have been traveling for a long time. Traveling obviously looks a little different than it did 2 years ago. And one of the most important things that I tell our clients and our team actually is, used to you had to think about all the different things you have to pack before you go. And now the most important thing that you have to pack prior to traveling is packing your patience, because things are different, things look different, things feel different. And it's just really, really important to remember that travel industry and the hospitality industry and so many other industries have taken a hit over the last 18 months, and we've lost staff and we've lost resources, and so we don't have the same things to work with that we did 2 years ago, but expectations are still the same, and sometimes it's really hard to meet those expectations. So I just tell all my clients, pack your patience, be thankful for the people that are there to serve you and to help you to have an amazing vacation and amazing experience. but it is different, and you have to manage those expectations a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point on that. You talk about packing your patience. When we go to restaurants today, drive safe. It's a good idea to pack your patience, even here in the States. When you go to Whataburger, McDonald's, it could be anything. Pack your patience, because the service that we once had pre-COVID, it just doesn't exist anymore. And Kristen, I think we're seeing the same thing, obviously, overseas. I mean, and the rules change from country to country to country, right? I mean, some places are shut down a lot more than others. Is that fair to say?
That is absolutely fair to say. I mean, it's just, and every day it's different. And every day, one country can come up with a series of protocols that you have to comply with to enter their country. And literally 2 days later, they may change it, and it may be completely different.
I was going to ask you.
And the country next door has something completely different. So it is very a lot to keep up with.
How important is it? How important it is to have your information, like your shot information, that you go now and you have all that before you go, or testing and these kind, when it comes to the COVID variant and these COVID protocols. How important are those things that you have?
Like, to carry those things with you? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and what are some of the requirements that we're seeing more so across the country as just talking about COVID?
So it's really, really important to 100% know what the protocols of the country or the destination, whether it's domestic or international, what those protocols are and what you need to do to make sure that you comply with those protocols. For example, if you have to have a test 72 hours prior to entry, then it's really important to know that. And I always tell people, if you're vaccinated, keep that vaccination card with you. Keep a copy of it. Keep a copy on your phone so that you always have that with you in some form or fashion. Same with a negative COVID test, if that's the requirement that you have to have. Keep copies of it. I'm going to tell you, I have probably traveled 20, 25 times during COVID, and I have seen so many people turned away at the airport, just at the gate, because they did not have what they needed to get on that plane, and no one told them. And it's very, very sad, because you see people walking away from the gate and you can tell they're angry and they're frustrated, and nobody wants to turn away. You just have to do what you have to do.
What are you seeing regarding the cruise lines right now? I know that talked to a friend that just went on a cruise. It wasn't quite the same. Are you seeing a full bookings yet, or do we expect to see that maybe for Christmas? When do you see that kind of coming back to normal, or is there ever going to be a normal again?
You know, I hope that we will get normal again. I pray for normalcy every day. But we are seeing cruising again, and I lead a team of 30 advisors, so we are doing our very best to get out there and get on as many cruise lines as we can, just so that we can experience, so we can, again, manage those expectations for our clients. I was on a small cruise line out of in the Southern Caribbean several weeks ago, and it is, just like you said, it is very different, and there are certain requirements, obviously wearing masks in public areas, having to be vaccinated, those type things, and everybody is trying really hard, but it does feel a little different, and just knowing when you're going into that it's not quite the same. It is also a really great positive about it is being able to travel without a full ship. Like, you're really getting an amazing experience, because it's traveling at like 50% or 30% capacity sometimes.
Yeah, probably a lot easier to get that upgrade, right? When nobody else is.
I mean, no kidding.
The buffet line is open more.
I had some of my advisors hop off a Disney cruise a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things they said is, like, because it's such a low capacity, only 30%, they said the vibe is not there. So it's just, it doesn't feel exciting because there's not that many people.
Yeah, you said something earlier that you and your team of 30, 31 advisors, you have to, or you make sure you get out there and go get on those cruises. I'm thinking does it get old going out on cruises? Does it seem like, is it work or is it enjoyable? Because when I hear you say that, I'm like, sign me up. How do I become an advisor?
It is work. It is work, because you're never off. Your brain never turns off. My brain never turns off anyway. And even though you're on a cruise ship and it's beautiful and it's amazing and the views are great, but I mean, I'm constantly working, and so it is not a vacation, and we're just learning and trying to figure out what the future looks like and how to prepare our clients to travel better and what we can do to be better travel advisors. But I'm not saying it's not fun. It is fun. I mean, we get to see beautiful places and experience really nice things and fun things, but it definitely is work. And yes, it does get tiring, and I'm really glad when I get to spend time at home.
If you had to pick a point or a spot that has the best value at present, or for the, not as much worry, or you see people going to and having a really good time right now, what would you consider your best or favorite right now booking, right? Your right now vacation spot?
So the easiest destination to get to, other than it's most domestic destinations, obviously like in New York, if you go to a restaurant, you have to show a vaccination card. If you go to a show, you have to show a vaccination card. So that's not necessarily open to everyone. But the easiest and the most simple destination to get to right now, I would say, is probably Mexico, Cancun, Cabo, Riviera Maya, that area. You do not have to have a test to come into the country or be vaccinated to come into the country. However, I always highly recommend that our clients get vaccinated just so that they know that when they test to come home, they're going to have a better chance of testing negative and they're not going to be quarantined in a foreign country. So Mexico, Cancun, Cabo, Riviera Maya, and also Punta Cana is doing really well right now as far as ease of requirements. Everyone else, pretty much, you're going to have to test to go or be vaccinated to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably $20 too, probably get you a clean test over in Mexico too. So always another way. Your dollar goes a long way over in Mexico right now. We do know that. Just kidding on that. Hey, so Kristen, what have you seen regarding, it seemed like travel was going crazy for a while, right? The airlines were getting full again.
Yeah,
have you seen any, say, cancellations in bookings since the Delta variant, since Delta made its a big appearance, and we're all a little bit leery again? Are you seeing cancellations?
We had a handful because people, number one, we've seen a lot of people there, like my family members are sick or so-and-so, something happened to this person or to this person. So yeah, we've seen some cancellations due to that, but not a lot of cancellations due to fear of the virus, like we were seeing in the early 2020. So I would say we're not seeing anything near like what we saw early 2020, and maybe just a handful of cancellations that people just aren't comfortable traveling right now. But not, I wouldn't say droves of cancellations by any means. I'm at I'm in Hilton Head right now. I've got 191 people that are starting to arrive at 10:30 this morning. So,
wow,
not a single cancellation. Everybody, the flights are all coming in. Flights are packed. It's amazing. And, I was expecting cancellations at the last minute. We haven't had any.
That's awesome. And you know what? We like you are big proponents that, we've got to open up these places. We have to go visit. Would you say that right now? I know that we're a little worried with COVID, and yes, we do the same thing. We encourage you, if you can, to get those shots. But Kristen, do you agree that we have to go out? I mean, I think you're doing it, right? You're going out, you're traveling. We've got to continue to do our part to keep these other businesses open. We've got to do our part to spend money. Drive safe, Dave. Kristen, what's your opinion on that?
100% yes. I don't think that we will ever see the full impact of what this has done to our economy, and most importantly to our global economy. I mean, you see the things in your own little neighborhood, but you have no idea that these people all over the world, tourism is how they eat their food. It's how they live, and they are truly struggling. And I think it is important for us to get back out there and do our part. If we're comfortable traveling, we need to do it. Now's the time.
All right. Well, Krista, I think you need to help us to help encourage us a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you for a number. Producer, we're going to do some funny math here for a second, and we're going to find a driver to give this a $1,000 credit to.
What?
Listen to me. We got to spend money. We got to keep this economy going. And we have listeners out here that are saying, you know what? I'm ready for a vacation.
Did you say $1,000?
$1,000 credit towards a booking with Classic Travel. So here we go, Kristen. Just give me a number.
Just any random number.
Any number. Between 1 and 100, yeah.
I'm going to go with 700, 200. $726.
All right, 726 is the number. So we're going to take 726, producer. Get ready. Divided by 7 plus 20. Here we go. And that's the person we're going to pick. So here we go. As we do that, and find that person, tell us who it is, producer. And Kristen, listen, what are the best ways to look you up or to get a hold of you or to have a booking with your company?
So the best way to get in touch with us is, first of all, go to our website. It's classictravelconnection.com. And secondly, you can email me anytime at Kristen@classictravelconnection.com. And that's I can spell my name, CHRISTEN. And our agency phone number is 205-823-533.
All right. Make sure, hey, listen, if you're out there and you're watching this right now, make sure you're emailing her for business related right there. I saw Drive Safe Dave said, oh, yeah, she's getting an email from me.
I was writing her number down. I was just writing her number down.
All right. We have a winner.
We got Gerald Baker, who just won a $1,000 vacation.
What?
Gerald Baker, big winner. Great job. Hey, Kristen, thank you for being on BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. Hey, thank you for what you're doing. Continue to keep us updated as well. Drive Safe Dave, what a great...
I want a vest like that. How do I get your vest?
You know what? It's they're hard to come by, but I'm going to hook you up with one with a little autograph from the crew at BCB Live for being a visitor and a guest on our show, Kristen. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye now.
Wow, Drive Safe Dave. It's just nice to, it really is. It's nice to be able to hear what's going on, you know, outside of just what we do. You know, we talk about the trucks, we talk about, you know, the travel on the interstate. It's good to hear what's going on, you know, with regarding that industry, that travel industry, because it does make an impact on even our industry.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go on vacation. I'm glad you're promoting it. I'm glad that you're promoting it here at the company, and I'm ready to line it up and set up these weeks necessary to go out and do the vacations that you're talking about.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about cruise lines with her, right? And before we get to this 7:30 mark with Buckle Up Bob, I do want to say one more thing. We talked about the amount of ships, not cruise ships out there in California. Tons of ships out there, right? Cargo ships out there with those 20-foot equivalent containers.
Yeah.
Well, here it is now on the East Coast. We have the Port of Savannah. Now, one of the largest ports on the East Coast, with the first time ever, it's had backups of its degree with over 20 ships, 20 to 26, with dwell times sitting out there at bay with the same issues we're having in California. And let me tell you, that Savannah port, pretty productive. 20 to 26 ships, the most ever. Dwell times normally 4 to 5 days. They've been as high of this month as 12 days.
Wow.
And right now, today, they're coming in at 9.2 days of dwell time out there sitting, waiting to dock.
Yeah, and so they divert some of the ships to other ports, and they're just backing up. That's how many are coming in, and that's how much it's choking, right? That's how bad the ingress of all of this freight is. And we're finding out that is a weak point in our supply chain.
Yeah, and as we continue to look for these bottlenecks, and I think I think that's gonna be the new term for the days is bottlenecks. As we find bottlenecks, what we've got to remember is that as you fix a bottleneck, it does open up or create more bottlenecks down the road. Just because you're open 24 hours a day, now when you get more cars or more trucks coming in there, it's going to create more bottlenecks. Where? Well, perhaps at the warehouse that they're taking them to. And now if they're not open, and now they come in, there's people lined up to get unloaded. So, everybody's got to kind of participate. Everybody has to get on the same page. The only way we'll, in bottlenecks, it takes work from all departments, right? And I'm talking about the warehousing industry, the shippers, the machine operators, the truck drivers, the containers, the chassis. It takes work from all of us to be able to make this happen.
Yeah, we have so many things, and down the line, you go all the way down, even to the end, right to the store shelf, right? Mm-hmm. Even to shelving it. And we see shortages going all over the world. We see shortages going right here. You can go right now, you can go to the grocery store and you find empty shelves. you can find empty shelves, and it has a lot to do with, even if you try to buy something right now, Sir Rick, online or whatever, haven't you seen that one day kind of fade?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And you know what? I don't know if we're more patient or I think this world too, and she talked about, Chris talked about, make sure you pack your patience.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I think that as we've got to learn, to expect a little bit less than we had before COVID. I mean, we're seeing it in the postal rates, right? They're raising the rates and lowering their delivery expectations, right? It's what we do. You go to a restaurant, you have to be more patient. When you order your food, it's going to take them a little longer. The waiters or the waitresses are waiting on more tables per person.
Right.
There's only so many they can do. And oftentimes you go inside and it's a 30-minute wait and you wait your 30 minutes to walk in and tables open everywhere.
Right.
They don't have the waiters or the waitresses.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to seat 100 people when you only have 3 people waiting on them. They'll just be sitting at tables they can't get to.
Yes, sir. Hey, Drive Safe Dave. We got Buckle Up Bob coming in with some weather and with some road conditions. This is BCB Live, and we're the safest station in the nation.
right, good morning, BCB Live out there, all you drivers out there getting started on your day. Maybe you already been driving a while. We're going to take a quick look at some traffic and some of the major hubs there, that thoroughfares, if you will, that of freight. So again, we're going to start with the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and again, DFW area, a little congested as we start our morning all the way around the 114 loop and the 20. Then when you get on the west side of it, it gets a little better, not much. 30 is always a bog down going east, and same thing for 20. You have a little bit of a bag down right there south of Arlington. The Fort Worth area looks pretty clear. Again, on 35W, always congested there right north of the Metroplex area of Fort Worth. But again, all in all, just really kind of a typical traffic day. Expect a bunch of delays if you're heading into the Dallas area. Kansas City, boy, it just seems like every time we get under, Kansas City is wide open. So again, looks really good. The loops are all clear. There's just not much going on. A little bit of stop and go on some of the areas, but nothing major that just jumps out at you. So if you're heading into Kansas City, no rain. Everything looks good. I think they're expecting some later today, but right now your morning commute looks really well. Chicago Chicago, again, has been really nice. Again, it's always congested going into the city there in the downtown area. But the loops, again, look pretty good. A little bit of a slowdown coming in from 55 in the Bolingbrook area. And, again, coming in on 90, they're up near Schaumburg. Again, in the Chicago area. I've heard of Schaumburg before, so I'm trying to think of what's up there. But, Naperville coming in looks good. And the loops coming in from Indiana also looks good. When we get to Atlanta probably never has clear days. I'm sure they're out there, but today is not one of them. You can see everything's got red on it. You've got this one little quadrant of the 285 loop down here by the airport that is not congested, but everywhere else, coming in from the east, coming up from the south, coming down from the north on the opposite direction. Just bottlenecks everywhere on the loops. So when you're heading to Atlanta, man, as we was talking this morning, patience. Gotta have patience in these traffic areas, right? People are going to cut you off. You have to be ready for that. So just slow it down and be patient. The Philadelphia area is really congested again. They've been pretty mild, but you can see a lot of red all around. 476 loop around the Turnpike. The Turnpike 76 has congestion. Even coming from the New Jersey side seems to show a little bit more red than normal this week. So if you're coming in the Philadelphia area, again, you can expect some major delays, and you're going to have the patience to deal with that. Also, we got Nashville. Looks a little bit more congested than it has been. It's not too bad on the western side of Nashville, but on the eastern and the southeastern, you've got, again, a lot of red, long stretches of red coming into the Nashville area on 24 there. So expect a good 30 to 40 minute delay, if not longer, coming in up on 24. 40, you want to drop down and take the 440 loop around if you're coming from the east or west. It's your best bet. And same thing, take 55 or 155 up to 24 north to avoid this section of red as well. So again, but don't see a lot of rain in the areas, but we're going to go kind of the weather and see where that rain is right now and to show you what's expected. Right now, it is in the Memphis area, so you can see all the cities we were showing. They're kind of clear right now, but these are going to move towards them. And what I mean by that, I'll show you. Here's what, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, you can see the Kansas City area, Arkansas, all that is expected. The DFW area, we are expecting some showers. But really what I heard and saw was around midnight, these storms are going to fire up. You can see they're still going to be intense. And our best bet or chance for some more rain is going to be tomorrow. As you can see along the South, Texas is really going to get some good chances for rain. And tomorrow afternoon, as you can see, that whole south central part of it, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, and up north into Kansas and Missouri are going to see some rain, as well as Wisconsin and Minnesota. Our wind gusts, let's go back to today. Currently, not too shabby. Again, we talked yesterday about the Panhandle seeing some wind. That is still forecasted. But you can see at 2 p.m. when the winds usually kick up, really not a whole lot of change. So we should dodge the wind issues as we go through. And then tomorrow, really nice, hardly any wind at all. And then in the afternoon, not expecting any wind there either. So again, it's just going to be some thunderstorms as we go. As we go through the day-to-day, they're going to increase in chances in this south central part of the country for the most part. And then overnight into tomorrow, where it's going to pick up some even more chances of rain. Hey, we'll take a quick break and be right back with some safety.
Welcome back to BCB Live. I got my little mijo right here. How you doing down there, sir?
I'm doing good.
I didn't even see him. I looked over. All I saw was Drive Safe Dave. I'm like, what happened to Buckle Up Bob? I mean, did he leave with us or what? What happened?
He's comfy. He's comfy. He's comfy today, so we're good.
I know my place on Mount Rushmore.
There you go, sir.
Safety's always at the bottom, right?
Oh, no, that's the wrong mountain you're
Front
looking
and
at.
center is what we
Wrong
like.
There you
mountain
go.
you're looking
Front
at, sir.
and center, sir.
Man.
Buckle Up Bob, what are we talking about today on Thankful Thursday?
Well, Thankful Thursday, we are going to continue about preventing accidents, especially the fatal ones. And yesterday we gave the critical reasons that they use when they classify and put these codes on these accidents, the Highway Transportation Association. So, again, the critical reasons we went over yesterday of decision, which is driving too fast for conditions, tailgating, misjudging the speed of others. The recognition is a distraction, inattentive, or fail to observe the situation, the situational awareness, right? Then performance was fatigue, panic, and then non-performance was, medical issues, physical impairment. And so today we want to break down the numbers, and what you're going to see is, 75% of these fatal accidents involving these trucks are with the first two, and it's the two that we talk a lot about, right? Decision, critical reason, right, which was driving too fast for conditions, and tailgating. And we're going to see some videos later on about tailgating. But that's 38% of the codes on these 141,000 fatalities that involved 141,000 trucks. And so what it was 30,000 of those 78,000 that were involved with critical reasons were due to the decision, driving too fast and tailgating. So we have to slow down, folks. I mean, I went over some videos with some driver managers and they were like, well, I don't see anything. I said, you got to get in the habit of looking at the sign because the sign said 45, we're doing 53, And so it's just one of those things where you got to train yourself, just like drivers have to pay attention to the signage. The second one was 28% was recognition. And recognition is distracted, inattentive, right? Failed to observe the situation adequately. So again, right there is 66% of the 87%. So you're looking right at the 75% of all these fatals of the 87% that were given critical reasons that were driver error. Again, there's 100% critical reasons, but 87% of those critical reasons were driver related. And the top two, 75% of those were tailgating, speeding, and not recognizing the situation. Being distracted. So, and then the other one, non-performance, was actually number 2, which is the physical impairment or health. And then the bottom one was the performance, right? And the performance one is just fatigue. So, which is kind of good that the fatigue, if it is, it's still up there at 9%, but it's the bottom one. Yeah. So drivers seem to do a better job at recognizing fatigue and getting off the road than they do the speeding and the tailgating.
Yeah, going too fast for conditions, looking at the signage out there, those are critical. And we look at Drive Safe Dave's shirt today, that's a big one right there. And the signs as well, right?
That was nice. Good Sam.
But the sign is absolutely important, right? When you come to a sign that says, 15 miles an hour going around a curve like that, you have to slow down.
Yes. Yeah, I had a conversation because we had a video and the driver called and was upset over some of the safety devices. And then as we talked it out, and just a great conversation, but, he said, I've traveled this road before. I've taken that curve and this has never happened. I said, well, these things go off at a certain level. Maybe before you were 5 miles slower and you just didn't realize that you were going faster. Yeah. But, our speed showed the sign said 25 and you're doing 45. Maybe you took it at 30 before and it didn't trigger anything. So just getting that situational awareness and realizing that, you might have been right at the cusp of them devices taking over the first time or the second time, and this time you went a little bit faster, and so they took over. And he agreed, and during the conversation, we actually looked at the map, and we may have found a shorter and safer route. He's going to look at that. So we talk all the time. These videos are to educate and to spark discussion so that we can be safer out there on the road.
Right.
Yeah, and when you talk about these, going greater than the speed, for example, and you maybe you've never had an accident before, maybe you've never flipped over before going, say, 45 in a 20. Well, when it happens, I mean, is that when you stop? Again, it's never worth it. What we want you to do is make sure that you out there that you're following the speed recommendation, right, or the limit, right? It's saying that, and those are for cars around these curbs, or even on a the speed zones or whatever that is, construction zones. Listen, we want you to follow that, not 5 miles over, not 8 miles over, because that's the limit. They're telling you, no mas, no mas.
I'll tell you, in most drivers understand this, is that when the reality of the situation changes is when you have conditions that change, much like rain. We all don't think of rain as a condition to slow down, but it absolutely is a condition in which you slow down, and we're entering into another seasonal change, another time in which we're going to have to react differently and accordingly. And I'll tell you that, to me, most of the time when you talk about not reacting to the situation or the speed at the right situation, I'll tell you it's when you cross these bridges, when they get icy, when you get into these environments which is on the border of where it could be and where it is. And we see that accident like in Fort Worth. Remember when everybody was coming in and they entered the bridge and nobody could stop because it was right there on the edge of freezing. And you enter into a small area like when you cross the Trinity or you cross a bridge of a body of water and it cools quickly. You've got a moment that it can glass over. So what we're talking about here is recognizing those situations in those moments and changing your speed to accommodate that situation or what it could be.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's great points, because we knew that weather was coming in, so we were up early watching videos, and what really triggered our mass shutdown was a truck went over an overpass, and the back just kind of fished a little bit, and we're like, okay, it's here, it's time to shut down now. And then, for me, and I think a lot of drivers, what I've seen in the rain, you bring up a great point, because we're getting into that rainy season. They'll slow down if the rain's heavy and their windshield wipers isn't keeping it off, but they're not thinking of the light rain and what it does to the road, because, well, I don't even need my wipers hardly, or they're on delay, so I don't have to slow down. But that's just as dangerous,
if not more so, because the oil and the water don't mix, and it raises the oil up onto the surface of the road. And when you have a heavy rain, it actually cleanses the road and makes it for a better grip to the rubber. But when you don't, and it's a light mist or whatever, it actually creates this slippery, glassy film that creates this dangerous environment, and that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, and so I think they just, we got to get out of it. Hey, just because it's not keeping my windshield wipers busy doesn't mean it's not dangerous. I still have to slow down, right?
Video time. What do we got, producer?
Here we're just tailgating. We're going too fast in the 60s, and there's nowhere we're going to go anyway. So we just need to back out of this. There's nothing good. You see the wire retainer on the side. Probably ain't going to stop a big rig, but it probably will flip it over. There's just nowhere to go here, so we got to back out of this. You've got both lanes blocked.
Everybody's tailgating in this video.
Yes.
We all need to learn from this video. Every single individual is traveling too close at too high a rate of speed to everyone else. We need to identify that, and we need to back off.
Yeah, and remember, 38% of the fatalities in big rigs are this reason right here.
All right. Bob, talk it through. We'll go through it here.
Yeah.
We see the lights.
Yep. Here, can't make up their mind. Oh, good job by this driver. Situation, but again, we see this way too often. That just because they've got their signal on, keep backing off or keep your space, because make sure that they actually exit. Man, oh man, got close.
Wow, yeah. Again, I was going to say, great reaction time from our driver. Again, understanding the situation, expecting the unexpected, and we see a stop before we actually hit the vehicle on there. Hey, stay alert all the time. Expect craziness like this all the time. So, great job. Next one, producer.
You're getting great job here. Look, everybody's going away from this driver. And at the last minute, I believe somebody comes into the lane there, maybe, or not, but just a great job. Again, yep, there he is.
But we see the tailgating from the big truck on the right-hand side as well, right?
Yeah,
right here, you're too close. Listen, we've got to slow down. We have to back off. You're not going anywhere. And now, is that truck going to move into the left lane? Is if it does, accident right there with the van.
Yeah. And we're going to see a video where that almost happened as well here in a little bit. So, again, a lot of crazy out there.
I know this intersection. This is a dangerous intersection, and people have accidents here all the time. And I'm telling you, this is and just because of that right there, just driving too fast in situation where you're going.
Yep.
A little bit of rain.
Here, a little bit of rain. Got a stale green light. Everybody's flying. And this driver's able to stop.
That is a masterpiece. That's an $85,000 painting right there.
Yeah, better than the one that was hung in the museum, wasn't it?
That is
great job.
That's a masterpiece. Look at this. This car flies through it, doesn't make the right decision. We're slowing down. Speed was good. We're anticipating that light to change, and we were already slowing down. Great video. Great job. Stale green light. Masterpiece of the day right there.
Masterpiece.
Awesome. A lot of things going on. Here again, we got some more rain and stuff going on. Well, it had rained. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think I know where this is, but there's just no room to back off and let that truck over. But this driver is able to stop again and just avoid any kind of confusion there, what this guy's doing. Because he's got his blinker on, but even at the end of the video, he doesn't come over. Yeah. So, good job there again.
That lane turns as well.
Yes.
That is also a turn lane.
Gotcha.
That truck's in, and he's supposed to be out there if he's
okay.
So that's a good. All of this is good. I like the distance in the
yes.
traffic and being able to stop.
Space management, huge. Okay. Here again, we've got some great distance, but we start to lose it, and this is on the cruise. And then we're going to make the quick lane change, right behind the other one, because we don't want to get off that cruise control. Got to get off the cruise, folks. When you start coming up, just keep that space. This is clearly just one of those where they wanted to time it just right. You can see the car coming in the mirror. I got room, and so I'm just going to come out. But what if? We've seen the crazy out there. Yes. And then here's what can happen. When you get up here, this looks like a truck ran off the road. Luckily, I don't think it hit a big tree. It was hard to tell there at the end because you get a glimpse of the trailer, but no cab that I could see where it's at. So not sure, but it looks like it missed everything. But again, got to slow down.
I'm going to go with a tree was involved in this somewhere. I mean, look where that trailer is. That trailer's up against a tree almost, right?
I'm going to say the trailer is smashed up against the right-hand side of that
tree.
Yes.
And somehow maybe missed a head-on.
I see the mud flaps.
Yes, and we got to be careful. Here we go. What do we have?
Here you go. Watch this one. This car is going to make nothing wrong here, right? Well, then here comes this guy, and the lane's ending, and whoa, now we're on the shoulder.
Oh.
It's just one of those things, man, that situational awareness. This driver's doing nothing wrong. But, boy, keeping the head on a swivel and backing off, keeping your eye on them mirrors, seeing that person come up, and the lane's changing. Man, if this driver hadn't slowed down, this could have been a whole different outcome.
Yeah, I see the merging truck trying to get way out ahead of the truck, and there's no way the guy in the small vehicle could see that.
No, he just didn't see him, right? Again, when you lose your sight of vision, and that's part of when we talk about tailgating, right? Oftentimes, especially when you're following a truck too close, you don't know what's ahead of that truck.
Correct.
And when you have a billboard in front of you or to the right of you, to the left of you, you've got to, at that point, make sure that you have enough space to react because you don't know what's behind door one.
Yeah.
You know what? It says, you don't know what's behind door two. And you certainly don't want to open that up and there'd be a pedestrian or there'd be a parked car, an ambulance, a fire truck, whatever that is. That's what you don't want. That's when you've got to recognize the situation, right, around you and make sure that you're I don't want to say going slow, but you have an out.
Yes.
You have an out for everything, and that out, it can't be hitting another vehicle. It can't just be a last-second decision we have. Producer, if we have any questions, let's get them asked real quick. We have about 3 minutes. Buckle up, Bob. But I hear what you talk about today, and we look at the videos, and you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot we can learn from some of this. Producer, quick question.
Yeah, so Richard Rowe actually sent in a pretty good point here. So With all the road construction going on, please keep in mind that new asphalt will have a higher concentration of oil, which does make those areas even more dangerous whenever you're driving over them.
Yes, that is true.
Good point there. Good point, Richard Rowe. Almost feel like we need a fact check on that right there, but we'll go with it. It makes a lot of sense. I'm with you, Richard Rowe. I'm getting on you on that one. He's right. Drive safe, Dave. Talk to us a little bit about what video out here just stood out to you today.
The very first one where everybody is running together and we're tailgating, and the very first one, I don't see anyone doing anything to make this better at this moment. I see all of us wolf packing it and continuing to go down the road. Everybody needs to make a good judgment here. If something bad happens here, everybody's got a blind spot. The guy on the everybody's running, and look at it. Everybody's running in everybody's blind spot. It's crazy what's going on here, but this is the wolf pack. You've got to back off. You've got to make some space.
Buckle up, Bob. What's the video that caught your eye today?
Oh man, it has to be the lane merging, the merging thing, because we talked about the critical events. The number one was running out of the travel lane, and that just popped right there. This poor guy clears us plenty before, and then signals. It's a nice thing, and then boom, the situation change. We talk a lot. In 1 second, the situation changes. And if it wasn't for this driver watching the mirrors, to be able to slow down and create enough space to where this wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, and to me, I think it was the masterpiece that really caught my eye. But the one that also caught my eye was the one with that van kind of darts in front of the truck as it's going around that curve, and there's another truck right there, and it was a disaster ready to happen on that. Right, it was a disaster. It's right here is what we see. First of all, the truck to the right, our industry, we've got to back off. We can't be this close. Drive safe, Dave. Everything about that says his intent was to get into that middle lane. If his intent is to get in that middle lane, and if he follows through with that, and goes in the middle lane without that turn indicator, he goes in there, right now I'm getting in that middle lane, and here it comes, accidents.
I look at this, and what's scary, and I agree with you, but I look at this right here. This guy almost pit maneuvers himself on the nose of our truck, and then he's sideways, and now we have a rollover, we have an accident, and you've just got to be prepared. I mean, you look at these situations, and I think our driver did a wonderful job positioning himself in that center lane, out of the merge on the right and away from the fast-moving traffic in the hammer lane.
And that's a dangerous
area. So I want to hit on this right here because we've been talking about that this week here. It's not that the driver the driver that had the video, right? It's not that it would have been his fault. Right. It's not what it's about. What you did, though, as a driver, what that driver did by backing off and doing that, he avoided that situation, right? He made himself an out because he probably saw the crazy dude there. He saw the truck tailgating. And yes, if something would have happened, listen, this video, it does exonerate you. You're fine. However, we want to avoid, we want to prevent these accidents. And you know what? Hey, kudos to what you're doing out there on the road. Absolutely. Kudos to all of you for paying attention to those lights, for recognizing that, it is new asphalt, right? And it's going to have more oil on it. And maybe I can't stop the way I could have, on an older one or whatever. Maybe going down that road that here it is. It's another road with lights. And when you have lights, you just have to slow down because intersections are dangerous. They're deadly.
They're deadly.
They are.
Deadly.
And we did it, producer. So, we got to make sure that, and that's what I want to make sure that you continue to do what you're doing out there. It's so stinking important. It's so valuable. One more call, producer.
Yeah, we got a Cool Dude on the line. What do you got for us, sir?
That's the way I like to end my Thursday with Cool Dude.
What's up, Warren?
How about you, Cool Dude?
Hey, I just wanted to, comment on that on the new blacktop. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, on that new blacktop, they switched from using diesel fuel. The dump truck drivers did. They passed all these laws, and now they use actual soap. So when they're delivering the blacktop to be laid on the highway, it actually has soap in it. And when it rains after the first lay and they roll it out, it will turn to a foam. And that is actually soap on the road. And you will slip and crash. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's actual soap,
It's a clean road, though.
So,
Yeah, they didn't want them to use. They used to.
Yeah,
On the dump
Hey.
truck, they used to line their dump truck with diesel oil so it wouldn't stick to the sides of into the sides of the bed. And now he's saying they're lining it with soap so that it doesn't stick because they didn't want them using diesel oil anymore, diesel fuel.
But didn't make it any
Right.
safer.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we thank you for that.
No,
Cool,
it
dude.
didn't.
Hey, good hearing from you, buddy, and stay safe out there. Continue to, to be that example out there. I want to, you know what, cool dude? It's important that you're a leader out there on that highway, that everything you do, cars, eyes, they're all over you. And I know that you're a good-looking man and you're used to that, but they're looking at your actions. Make sure your actions are safe. Make sure that you know that everything you do, somebody's out there watching you, and be aware of that, and continue to stay safe out there. Continue to do your part to keep our highway safe, to keep our family safe. We thank you. Drive safe, Dave. This is BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation, and we'll see you this afternoon. Hey, God bless you.
Drive safe. Hey, everybody, and welcome to BCB Live. And here on a Thankful Thursday, we have a wonderful husband and wife team who has been here for a long time. James and Leslie Warner, how are y'all today? Good.
Great, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's glad that y'all are here. Look, I know we've been chatting for almost 10 minutes sitting up here, and now we've decided to turn the TV on, and therefore get loud? Is that what happens?
Yeah. We're going to let you talk now. Yeah.
It happens, right? We all have
We
that.
will now be included in the conversation.
That's right. No, y'all are the focus of the conversation. In fact, I'm going to turn my chair all the way sideways so you get the good profile shot of me, and we get to see y'all. We get to see y'all full on and get to talk to y'all. James, what's going on? I had no idea you were a guitar player. I had no idea that
I'm
you
not
were
really a guitar player.
Well,
I'm a guitar trier. Let's
Okay,
go
well, that's
practice
okay.
it.
I'm a golf trier.
Yeah.
But okay. So now, are we talking rock band in the future? I mean, are we talking maybe? No. Music Man Mike is looking for a band.
No, I'm not.
Not yet.
No.
Okay, well, it's coming. I'm predicting this time next year, we might be calling you Little Eddie Van, right? Just a little. No.
That'd be a far stretch. That'd be a pretty far stretch.
So, Leslie, what have y'all got? What are y'all doing? I know we captured y'all before y'all ran out today. What do y'all got going on? What's happening?
Well, we were on our way to Maryland.
Again?
Ready to go.
We were ready to go, and then
we were this far.
From pulling out.
We were almost
we're
out
at the
the
turn,
driveway.
as a
And
matter of
I'm
fact.
not letting it happen. I said, hey, man, give me 10 minutes. Give me something that's going on. So, really, the most exciting news that we have to talk about today in the Get to Know the Warners. Tell me about the vacation you just had.
I just got back from Alaska.
Okay, well, let's hear. I want to know what it was like. I've been on like 28 cruises, and I've never been on an Alaskan cruise.
It was amazing.
Was it amazing?
It was amazing.
Okay. I so dig the word amazing because, first of all, I miss cruising because my wife and I decided we weren't going to do it until next year. We just told ourselves we weren't going to because we didn't want to. We didn't know what we didn't know, right? We weren't sure.
Yeah.
But everybody's coming back telling us thumbs up, right?
Well, we
It
went in
is not.
July. We went in July. As soon as they opened it up, we went to Mexico.
Okay.
We were the second ship out of Galveston.
Yeah,
And how did you like that?
it was amazing.
And they changed
Oh,
it.
that was amazing.
That was
okay.
amazing. That was amazing.
Were you on the? Okay, so normally we go on.
If you guys are going to go, you need to go ahead and go now. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're only 75% full.
Oh yeah, we need.
Well, the
And you're
Alaskan
not- and you're
cruise
not
was
crowded.
less than half.
Oh.
So I'm saying you don't got a bunch of people,
Oh
There
yeah.
and
were
you can
no
actually.
kids.
Oh, no kids.
No
Oh. Oh.
There were
Yeah.
4 teenagers on our
So
cruise.
now you understand when we say amazing.
Yeah,
What we mean by amazing, right?
And not everybody's worn out. They all want to help you. They all want to wait on you hand and foot, and everything they do is about you.
And everything was clean.
Oh,
and
nice.
and
Yep.
and
So, did you do any excursions on the election trip?
We went gold panning, and we did a private guided tour up to the Canadian border and back,
Oh, nice.
where we stopped, took pictures, got the binoculars out, saw mountain goats.
No shark diving or any of
In
that.
Alaska?
I didn't know. I don't know. I've never been on that cruise.
No, we saw some humpbacks blowing, but we didn't actually see
A
them
pod?
breach.
You saw a pod? Did you
Yeah,
see
we
all-
saw a small pod. We never saw anything breach.
I could already tell you, I'm already excited by the idea that there weren't that many people on the boat.
Yeah.
That right there, in and of itself, is
Yeah, that's
that is
yeah.
some.
Yeah.
It was
That is
so
amazing.
relaxing.
Yeah. Oh,
it
nice.
Was so
Oh, did you go for a
8.
8 day? Go up to Anchorage, turn around, and come back,
No, we
or do you
went-
start on one end and finish on the
we
other?
left Seattle.
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go.
No, I didn't
Oh,
go.
then I'm talking to her about the
Yeah.
cruise.
Yeah. So we flew up to Seattle 3 days early. Spent 3 days playing in Seattle.
Oh, nice, fun. Got some
was-
coffee.
Coffee, Pike's Place.
Yeah.
Walked around, ate
Yeah.
pizza.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. Then we went.
Did you go grunge? Isn't that what that? Isn't that what they do
Yeah.
there, Dylan? Is it the
a little
grunge
old
area?
for that. A
Okay.
little old
I know.
for
I
that.
just ask. I hear. I've
Little
seen
old
the
for that.
news. You know what I mean? I've seen the news. Okay. Seattle, lots of fun. Got on the boat.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
We did the fjords first.
Nice.
We just floated in, see the icebergs, the glaciers.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Turned my phone off, or I'd show you pictures. Show you afterwards.
Okay.
Then
in.
we did Skagway. We did. Really?
Well, that was worth the money, wasn't it?
We did Juneau, Skagway,
Oh, nice.
Ketchikan,
Uh huh. Isn't Juneau
Icy Straits.
right? Isn't Juneau the one you can't get to unless you get there by boat or flying? Right? You can't.
No. That's the fjords.
Okay, one of them you can't get to.
Skagway.
Yeah, one of them you
Skagway.
can't. Yeah, you can't get to by car
Skagway.
or you can't get there by
Skagway.
truck. It either comes in on a boat or it comes in by
Skagway.
plane, and that's it.
Skagway
you
and
can't.
Icy Straits.
Not all right. And then when you were, any difference between because you're really, can you tell it what line did you cruise?
Carnival.
You cruise Carnival. Any major difference between the southern runs and the northern runs? Did you say?
We were the only ones up there. There were no other boats up there.
Oh, okay.
We were the only boat up there. Ketchikan's a major city. Juneau's a major city. There's only 800 people that live in Skagway.
Oh, nice.
Icy Straits is teeny tiny, like just kind of a native village is all there is.
So if I in a nutshell, if we wanted to talk about it in a nutshell, you would recommend the Alaskan cruise out of Seattle. Don't tell my wife, and she will so pull the trigger on that in a heartbeat. I'm telling you.
They only go June through
Right.
September.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they can.
That's
yeah.
the only time they go.
Right. My nephew. We've been to Alaska.
I lived there when I was a kid. My
Oh, you
dad
did?
was Air Force, yeah. So we lived in Fairbanks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was our nephew was in the Air Force, or is in the Air Force, and he was stationed there in Fort Eldendorf. Anyway.
Yeah.
Air base there. We went up. We flew up. We had a great time. Well, I loved Alaska. A lot of fun. Great place.
Yeah.
Wonderful place to visit. The sun was up forever.
Yeah.
No, I mean forever.
Yeah, it is in the summer.
I mean,
It is in the summer. Even in January, it's like dark forever.
Yeah, but we were up there, and I'm telling you, you think, and I'm not kidding, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm wearing sunglasses at a bar up on a roof, and I am like, I cannot, and the sun doesn't even look like it's going down soon.
I didn't see fireworks until I was like 9.
Oh, because of the, because of July.
We lived in Alaska.
Oh, yeah, so you can't do it.
Yeah,
Wow,
they
pretty
didn't
crazy.
have them. Yeah.
So, what's the next big vacation you got planned? I mean, you've obviously got something else. I know you've got something cooking. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right.
Sure, I want to go back to Europe, but
Yeah,
we'll probably go back to Europe.
Yeah,
We'll probably go back to Europe.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, where do y'all want to go this year?
We have family that lives outside of Brussels,
Oh, in Brussels?
Yeah.
Belgium.
Well,
Belgium is a nice place.
Oh, yeah.
Nice people. Nice people.
Yeah, I've been there. I'll tell you, Europe's a great, cool place, and my wife and I are thinking about going. I really want us to do. I want us to let me drive and go run some of the area that I was at as a kid, and run through southern Germany, Austria, and run through Austria into Switzerland, down into northern Italy. Stay in the Alps, and run the Alps.
We have family all up through there.
Oh, yeah.
My stepmom has her daughters live in Switzerland and Germany and Austria in that area. So
We actually had the best time getting lost in Brussels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
did.
can. Oh,
We
yeah.
got lost.
No, that's fun.
Well, we went to the airport to leave, and apparently they decided to go on strike,
Baggage handler strike.
so we couldn't leave.
Seriously?
They seriously, this happened
We
to us.
can't leave.
They're like, no.
Over to the
no, they
Bra
said-
House.
they-
Over
they-
to the Opera House.
they-
We'll
they
go.
translated to us.
Actually walked into a Turkish neighborhood and said, we don't
We don't know
what to
where
eat
we're
here.
at. We don't know what to eat.
And
And the
they're
guy
like,
said,
"Oh, we'll make
let
you
us fix
something."
you something.
Oh, nice.
It was good.
It
Yeah.
was, I bet.
Oh, it was
Yeah, they
awesome.
made us
Oh,
this
yeah, man.
pizza.
They made us this
It
great
was like
big
a
pizza
boat,
and-
had
yeah.
eggs and.
It was just good.
It was good.
They were
yeah.
like,
good.
you need beer for this.
Yes.
I said,
Yes.
sure.
Yes, we do.
And Turkish
And
beer and
We're on vacation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. When are y'all planning on doing that? Y'all gonna go like spring, summer? What do you don't know?
We don't
Make some
know
more
yet.
money.
You haven't figured it out. Oh,
I
make
don't
some
know.
more money.
Carnival
some more
sent me a
money.
thing for a free cruise, but we'd have to leave by in 2 weeks. I'm like, well,
Leonard might not like us leaving again
and I'm
in 2
looking at the
weeks.
bank account going 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I don't think we can do that.
We got to get back on the road.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that.
But we'll get back on the road. So good stuff. You know, always. How long have y'all been here now?
3 years.
Almost,
3
I think.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been 3
coming
years.
up on 3 years.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Like it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you like it most?
You leave us alone most of the time. Most of the time we get out of the driveway.
Not most.
Yeah,
of the
for
time.
some guys. For some guys.
Not every
We were
time.
almost home free.
Most of the
And,
time we get out of the driveway.
No, most of the time, but not always.
yeah, we were home free.
But no, really, what is it? What is it? Truly, the not too much. What is it you like most?
The runs, it's mostly drop and hook. Great.
Just what y'all need.
Yeah.
Dispatcher.
yeah, because we have a house and we have
We get great home time.
and we get good home time. People like spending their time at home too, just as much as they
Oh
do at
yeah.
home.
Oh no, I like even more
And I
so
like
probably. Than
I
me.
like the
We're a
fact
little
that
upset about losing Brandy as our dispatcher.
Oh,
Leonard's
we like
pretty
Leonard.
nice.
We like
Leonard's pretty
Leonard.
nice.
Yeah, no. You know,
But,
I think that there's just small divisions took place, and it
Yeah.
had to be done, and for legal reasons and also policy, just for it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And but you're still home. I mean, you're not going anywhere.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing about going home, especially when you own your own truck, is you can do your maintenance. You can make sure that your truck is up to spec and what needs to be done and what needs to be taken care of.
I can
Right.
You know.
try to get my paperwork done. I can try to keep my stuff up to date.
I mean, we were off
Right.
for what? How long? We were off almost 2 weeks, and so I had the filter done, had the overhead run on the truck.
Nice.
All that stuff. I get it done right then and
We have a
there.
local guy.
Oh, nice. Got it all taken care of.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
and it's
most of it.
you go to the Loves or something, and the next thing you know, you're stuck there for 3 days. Trying to get
Yeah.
something fixed because somebody broke something, taking it off.
Right.
Yeah, well, our guy does other people too, so he fits us in too.
All right. So let's talk safety. Biggest. Oh, before we get to safety, let's talk. Biggest concern we had. We had the A-Tree lady on the other day. Did you see that interview?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, she is an association that gathers information from truck drivers and helps implement those problems and/or surveys and changes and goes into government and uses those to help certain specific situations. So, if you had to pick what you considered one of the greatest pet peeves out there on the road, what would it be? Would it be like a lot of truck drivers? Y'all don't typically have this problem, and that would be places to park. Y'all are a team, so you don't generally have as much problem sleeping overnight or waiting overnight. But one of the largest pet peeves I think it's number one right now, is places to park.
And with that being said, I think the biggest pet peeve that goes on right here in Mansfield, Texas, is the fact that you've got an industrial park sitting here and there's no parking signs all over the place. Can't park a truck out here nowhere.
Right.
How does that make any sense?
Yeah, they want you to come in, do your business, and leave.
And go where? And go park on the side of the road?
I don't. It's a great. You know what? That's exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about. That's what is so frustrating.
How do you
Yeah,
get government funding? That's what they do. They get government funding to put in
Correct.
these industrial parks.
Right.
But you can't park a truck there.
So
And-
here it is.
And you unload, and your dispatcher says, "Well, give me 15 minutes, and I'll get you a load." Well, where
And
do you
next
want me
you
to go?
things they know, Barney Fife's walking up, trying to write you a speed, trying to write you a
and
ticket.
it is frustrating even that the concept that the infrastructure bill that's fixing to be passed has no part
Doesn't make any
in it
sense.
whatsoever about truck parking, which is crazy, right?
And do you see trains unloading up here? I don't see any trains parked up here. I don't see any trains nowhere.
Just the kind on 18 wheels.
Yeah,
That's the only
it.
ones I see. The only ones I see rolling, and the only ones I see actually doing.
But they do it everywhere in the United States. It's not just
know,
Mansfield,
brother.
but this is a perfect example of. I mean, right out here in front of your own building, you've got no parking signs.
Right.
You know what I mean? But here you've got, I don't know how many docks you got there. What, 5 docks, something like that. So if you didn't have that big parking lot in the back,
Where you going?
exactly.
Right. And you know what? It's not going, and it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have to park all the way over at Love's in Midlothian.
Yeah.
You know, just to have
So
your
now,
truck.
so
Well,
now
in
it's
some
eight,
places it's 30 miles.
yeah,
for a truck
and so
You're
now
telling me.
it's 8 o'clock, and the guy calls you up. I'm ready for you. Well, you're 15, 20 minutes down the road, whatever it is. By the time you do your pre-trip, all that stuff, and get over here, oh boy, man, you're 30 minutes late.
Right. Yeah, that's what she was talking about. That a lot of genuine big concerns going on about. And what they do is they take those surveys. So what they do is they list them, and then you vote on them what you like, and then they take that data from all these trucks and they give it to the legislatures and lobbyists to help try to make changes. And I think the one thing that they did do well is y'all remember y'all been driving a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You remember the insane 34-hour break that was you had to take two. You had to do from between Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
horrible.
Remember that nightmare
Maybe a
on
certain
it?
time. Yeah.
Remember that? Remember that
Yeah.
nightmare that was
I
going
remember
on?
throwing my logbook out the window. And
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Anyway,
about it.
they helped get that changed by the number of people that it showed that it was actually more unsafe than safe than it
Yeah,
was.
I think that in some cases, especially with solo drivers, that this electronic logbook is more unsafe than, you know. And now that being said, I don't like the fact that, because I've talked to several guys about it, is the fact that, okay, so the only good thing about the electronic logbook is the fact that I got 11 hours. Okay, I don't need to be working 24 hours a day,
Nope.
7 days a week.
No,
My 11 hours, if that's not enough for you,
we got a problem.
we got a problem. But I should be able to use my 11 hours in certain situations, you know,
Right.
to be able to extend it a little bit more.
And to me, more than anything, not only that, is it set a standard at which the playing field was level. And no one, even the guys that cheated, you know, that took steroids and were out there doing the stuff they weren't supposed to be doing, it made it harder for the other people to succeed because they wanted everyone to do what they were doing, you know, cheat. And I just,
And at the end of the day, experience will tell you, I'm one of those people that will tell you, I don't pay as much as you think it does.
No,
it don't.
It
not
don't.
in the end it does.
They don't pay.
It don't.
This pays me better to do it this way.
Absolutely.
It really does.
It's not as, yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's why.
I mean,
After, and I'll tell you, I was one of those on that side of the fence until it came about, and then it changed me, right? Until I was like, oh well, now guys are coming in rested. Guys are coming in with that make anyway. I'm just saying.
and you hope you don't get a bunch of, you don't end up with a bunch of tore up trucks and a bunch of tore up equipment, and you can have it makes for a better environment for everybody, you know.
What's your? I know y'all are on the show quite a bit, right? We've talked about this before. What's y'all's
I'm
favorite?
never up, so.
What's y'all's favorite part?
Welcome to BCB Live. This is Sir Rick Drive Safe
I
Dave.
thought he was going to say me. I thought he was going to say me.
The weather and the traffic.
The weather and the traffic, yes.
That's usually what
Yes.
I'm on for, is the weather, to see what's going on, because I don't always have time for that.
Kind of get updated. with
Or
what was
something
happening.
major is going
Yeah.
on and we need to know about,
Yeah.
like riding in the middle of the street
show comes
somewhere.
on at a bad time for me
Okay.
and for us.
Especially me.
I start driving about 4,
Uh-huh.
and I usually drive until about 4:30.
Yeah, well, you drive from 4 to 4, all 30 minutes.
No,
That was a
but
joke.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying
that
is
was-
our
that was-
time, the time I drive.
Hey, don't worry, I log it. I log her. It's okay. She's logged.
It's okay,
on.
she's logging, she'll be fine.
She's logged on the whole
You know, but
time.
what I'm saying is, from the time that I drive,
Right.
that's about, the time that I'm driving. It's hard to get him on there.
Oh yeah. No, I get it. And that we do it. I know we do it
I
twice a
really
day.
wish there was another time, or that he could go on and get it on YouTube. Or
Hey,
he
welcome
could,
back to BCB
you know,
Live. We're the safest
We do
station
get it
in
off
the
YouTube. The
nation.
only problem with
We're
we do is it's
joined
hard
with
to
Chris by
record
Kristen
the
Perry
day.
today. Kristen, how you doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
honestly,
Because I
We're
was
joined
listening to
with
it at
Chris
night
by
while I was
Kristen
driving
Perry
around with my
to-
headphones, and because
yeah.
I usually listen
So
to books
anymore,
and stuff
he's
like
not
that,
on
so.
it. I'm just telling
We're
him what
joined
happened on
with
the
Chris
show
by
or what
Kristen
was,
Perry today. Kristen, how you
seen
doing?
this video, or
I am doing great.
you're not gonna believe what,
It's You're not going to believe.
Yeah. Like, you are not going to
Well,
believe.
I'll tell you,
Famous
that-
truck
I
driver
really wish
line.
there was
You're not
another
gonna believe
way
this.
for him to log it because, we missed out on that safety bonus.
I don't want you to do that. I want you to try to find a way to get on, try to find a way to listen.
Hey, a
I know that
visitor
it's
and a
difficult.
guest on our show, Kristen. Thank you again.
I will tell you.
Thanks, guys.
It is
Bye.
Thankful Bye now. And
Wow, drive.
we try to emphasize our appreciation to drivers for what they do. Try to make sure that you understand that we appreciate you for who you are, sacrifices that you make, the job that you perform, the ability to go out and do it safe every day, how hard it is to do it every single day, and continue to do it every day. And, there are times when it is extremely enjoyable. There are times when it's, it's okay, it's good. Then there are those times when it's not good and when it's not okay. And in those, and we all know what we're talking about.
Oh,
we
yeah.
all know where you're at or what you're doing or whoever it is you're dealing with or the moment in the time when the four-wheeler is not participating or that group in the traffic that just seems everybody's out to get you that day.
Are you sitting on a bridge in Chicago in a whiteout
I've
We-
been,
for 8 hours?
We try to keep a good attitude, and we know things aren't always
oh, yeah.
peachy.
No, they
You know
aren't
what I
always
mean?
peachy.
But honestly, we enjoy this company. That's why we've been here so long. That's why we try to refer people over here.
Yeah.
I think a couple of people we referred to come over here.
I think so.
So the whole point is that we love what you do and we love you for it. We want you to remain here, and but more importantly, we want you to know that no matter whatever it is, we appreciate what you do. And I wanted to say thank you from all of us here at BCB to tell
We
you that.
appreciate
That's
it.
the reason you're here. And if you have an opportunity to see the Warners out there, or they're not here a lot, but when they are, bump elbows or fist bump or whatever, say hi. And you also have the opportunity to tell any driver out there, no matter where you are, whatever it is you're doing, thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you do it. Not crazy to actually tell a driver, hey man, good job. It's not actually crazy to do that every now and then.
Who was that driver, G?
Oh, Shelly. G. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Badass.
There you go. We have one driver complimenting another driver. That's kind of what
He came
it's all
home
about.
bragging on her. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Oh wow!
Well, one of
Look
the
at
computers
that.
was broken. The other truck I was yarding over there. So she was, we moved, I don't know, almost 200 trailers in one day.
Wow,
It's a job.
that is a job. That's crazy.
We were rocking and rolling.
That
man,
is
but
rocking
She kept
and
it
rolling.
going pretty good. So
He was like, you are not going to believe.
I was like, man. And here's
was
the funny
like-
thing. I'm in there, I'm moving 200 trailers. I'm like, how the hell does it take me 5 hours to get out of here whenever I'm just trying to get a load out of here? That's what I'd like to know.
It's the nature of the beast. There's two different animals, and you're doing, and I get it, man. It's just crazy. All right, everybody. Hey, just so you know, if you get a chance, say thank you to somebody and appreciate what you have and want what you have. All right, with that, hey, have a great day, safe day. Talk to you later. Bye bye.